everybody, Kay here on the homestead here spot. Part of him. It's hard to get his whole body on camera. I know. Somehow you got big. We haven't figured out how he got big yet. I am here on my homestead in Tennessee with 5 cats, 1 indoor senior cat, and 4 that are my mousers and vole hunters and snake hunters and everything. So 2 of them have come back. I've started calling them because we have a tornado situation brewing up in Texas and Oklahoma today. But what I wanted to show you is I harvested the largest winter squash ever this past August, and it was an heirloom cushaw squash. Today's harvest, big harvest. Wow. All of these are going to have to be cured. Cushaw is a southern heirloom, and they say it's better than pumpkin for pumpkin pie. I got buzzards overhead, and I've got sweat bees flying around my camera, so we'll see how it goes. I've got Tiger and I've got Spot, and I need 2 more cats to round up because we have, whoa, there it goes. Oh my goodness, they're everywhere. What are they looking for? Oh my goodness, the leaves are coming down so fast. Anyway, I wanted to share with you, I'm Kay. I'm here on my Tennessee homestead. Welcome. If you're new here, I've been here almost 2 years on a 9+ acre property, about half wooded on a hill with gardens I've developed, and I'm trying to become self-sustainable here. So if you're interested in that, please subscribe and hit that bell for notifications so you won't miss an upload. So today I wanted to share with you how I harvested the biggest squash I've ever grown, but cushaw doesn't keep that well. I mean, butternuts, I have some butternuts from last summer that have not gone bad, so that's amazing. But this big one, a lot of these squash I had to take out early because you remember I had this huge stink bug infestation. It was insane, and they were eating the vines, and they were letting go even though they weren't quite fully, you can still eat them, but they're not going to last all winter. They're not going to cure well. And this one had started to get a black spot on the end of it, and I said, "Okay, get this thing cooked and in the freezer." So that's what I did today. I thought you might be interested in how I cut up, cooked, prepared the squash for freezing without a food saver, I might add. Take a look. So this is the largest squash I've ever cooked and cut up. It had a really large neck on it. So in the neck of a squash, if you're new to this, it's all solid. This is where it was sitting on the pan, so it's more cooked here. I could have turned this over to even that out. I didn't. What is exposed to the heat obviously dries out faster. I have these chunks. They're ready to use, and I'm probably going to freeze all of this for now. This is cushaw heirloom squash, and the seeds are absolutely gorgeous. It almost looks like solid gold, the edge around the outside. What is left after cutting up the first 2 pieces of neck, which is here, I've got more good squash that I can scrape off of these 2 pieces. Sometimes it just comes right off, and sometimes it's more stuck. It depends on how long you cook it. Okay. Sort of feels like a piece of leather. Cushaw is milder than pumpkin. You know, pumpkin sometimes has that kind of a little bit of a harsh, gotta put a lot of sugar in it to make it taste good. It's not quite the case with cushaw. I had 2 pieces like this that cooked together. It took up the whole pan. Once again, the top is more dried out because I didn't cover it, and the bottom is moist because it cooked in its juice. So it's very easy to cut this. Now, because this is the neck, you don't have the big cavity with seeds. You can see here the cavity's just starting, and you can see how it really cooked in its juice here. And it probably would have been a good idea to turn it over. I'm gonna just go around the edge and then just take out some slices, just like a piece of watermelon. That's still hot, a little bit hot to handle. This squash was 20 pounds. Whew. That's getting hot on the hand. Just like any other squash, it's just a lot bigger. All of this goes into the compost. Okay, so what's left to cook is the other half of this. This is the cavity, which I cut about in a half. So you see you're dealing with a lot thinner flesh rather than a big solid piece that's this wide. You're dealing with thin. So it's not going to take as long to cook. This took almost an hour to cook. The neck did. The cushaw starts out, you see these orange stripes? These are green when you harvest it, and as it ages it gets lighter and more yellow, orange. I had a lot of problems with stink bugs, and they were eating through the vines. This didn't get to stay in the garden quite as long as it should have. It had a bad spot on the neck, and the whole thing would have rotted if I hadn't taken it. So that's why we're working with this now. All of these seeds are going to be saved, and I'm going to be sharing and selling them. And these are handed down from the very first heirloom seeds I got about 2016 when I visited Tennessee. Well, I saw the cushaws and I thought, wow, that is a beautiful squash, and I wanted to grow it, especially since it's a southern heirloom and I'm from the south. So okay, these two pieces are ready to go in the oven when the next two pieces come out. These pieces, we're going to test it. You know what? This end is solid. We're going to give it 10 more minutes. Firm, so we'll give it 10 more minutes. Wow, I can almost get all of that in this one. I'm just going to keep the big chunks in here so that if I want to take something out, I can probably pry these chunks apart and take them out without having to thaw everything out. And we're going to see if we can get this closed and sealed. Works really well with quart bags. There we go. There we go. Ta-da! Vacuum sealed. them off. Putting this in the refrigerator to make into a pie. If I can get it closed. Okay, refrigerator, freezer. Ta-da! Five, six, six. Almost 12 pounds of flesh. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that was interesting. And I have a lot of other cooking videos. I'm not showing you my kitchen today because it's a disaster. I have so much going on. I'm making a pot of greens. I cooked the squash. I am cleaning out my refrigerator. So there's a lot going on in there. It's a big mess and you can't see it. So next time maybe. Anyway, a lot going on here on the homestead and I hope you'll be along for the journey. Take care, God bless, and I'll see you next time. I wish you could see him. He's so happy. He's so happy. Hey, no fighting.